What's up, Algebra 2? Here we are with Unit 9, Lesson 6. Given a point, find the 6 trig values. Okay, so on a quiz or a test, you might not have the axis drawn for you already. So we got 5, 12. Find the point 5, 12. Okay, so you'd go over 5 and up 12, and you put your point. So I'm going to go over, up, and then to make my triangle, I'm just going to come right back down. So we went over 5 and up 12. Okay, we can do a squared plus b squared equals c squared, or hopefully you recognize the Pythagorean triple. Hopefully you recognize the Pythagorean triple. $169. This is going to be 13. So that should help. Okay. So this is, by your origin, is going to be your theta, your angle, and that's where you're going to go from. So sine is opposite over hypotenuse. 12 over 13. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. 5 over 13. And tangent is opposite over adjacent. 12 over 5. And let's leave these as fractions today. If you don't remember those, this is after spring break this year. Remember SOHCAHTOA. SOHCAHTOA. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. And TOA, tangent, is opposite over adjacent. So hopefully that can help you remember those. To get the other three, these are the reciprocals. Okay, if it's like sine starts with an S, so its partner is going to start with a C. Every one of these, the partner will either be a C or an S. Cosine starts with a C, so its partner is an S. And tangent starts with a T, and so its partner is a C. Okay, so we're going to flip these. 13 over 12. 13 over 5, and 5 over 12. Okay, let's try another one. -4, 3. So we're going to go backwards 4, up 3, boom, boom. Somewhere over here. Again, the location's not really like the most important part. It's just having that picture to look at. And with length of a triangle, you really shouldn't label it as negative, because you don't have like -3 feet to a side. But I'm going to label it as negative. That way I don't make a mistake over here. So we're -4, then we're 3. Hopefully we recognize a 3, 4, 5 perfect right triangle. Okay, if you don't believe me, you can try the Pythagorean theorem. It should work out. Again, our theta is coming from the origin. So opposite over hypotenuse, 3/5. Cosine, -4/5. And tangent should be opposite over adjacent. 3 over -4, -3 over 4, it doesn't matter. -3/4. Okay, let's give you a second there to flip them all. Do the reciprocals. Okay, let's check it out for you there. So just flipping them. 5/3, -5/4, -4/3. Okay, let's have you try this one completely on your own. Okay, -7, -24, boom, boom. Okay, usually if you're talking like story problems and stuff, you're not going to put negatives on the sides of a triangle. But just for this, I like to do it so I don't make silly mistakes over here. Alright, I'll get you that far. The rest is on you. Ready, set, go. Okay, let's see how you did. Did you recognize, or did you have to work it out for that Pythagorean triple? We should have 25. The hypotenuse is always going to be positive because you're going to do negative squared, negative squared. Those are going to be positive once you square them. So the hypotenuse should always be positive. Okay, again, always coming from that one. Negative 24 over 25. Negative 7 over 25. And opposite over adjacent. Negative 24 over negative 7 would be the same as positive 24 over positive 7. Okay, then we flip those. Negative 25 24ths, negative 25 sevenths, and 7 over 24. Fourth one I'm going to do with you because it's not a perfect one. Okay, you're not always going to have perfect ones. So we got 4, negative 5, over 4, down 5, boom, boom, over 4, down 5. Okay, there's our theta. Alright, so we got to do a little 4 squared. Now before you call it 3, you're like, oh, it's a 3, 4, 5. The only way that would work is if the longest one's the hypotenuse. Okay, 5 is not on the hypotenuse, so it's not going to work. 4 squared plus negative 5 squared. So we got 16 plus 25, we're at 41. Okay, and then we square root. So we're going to have the square root of 41, which is going to make it interesting. So when I do sine, I'm going to do opposite over hypotenuse, negative 5 over radical 41. Okay, we don't want to have a radical in the bottom of our final answer. So we multiply top and bottom by radical 41. We have negative 5 radical 41 over regular 41. Now, after you do these a couple times, you really catch on to the pattern. I still like having this first one written down somewhere, because especially when you're doing all 6, because now when I go to flip this would be a mess, and I'd have to do it all over again. Or if I can look back to this one and see what it was originally, now when I go to flip it, boom, this is pretty easy. Negative radical 41 over 5. Much easier to flip from that one that wasn't the final answer for this, but it's easier to flip this one than it is to flip this one. Alright, cosine adjacent over hypotenuse. We got 4 over radical 41. And we'll get the same thing here, 4 radical 41 over regular 41. But again, this one's easier to flip. Radical 41 over 4. And tangent's going to be opposite over adjacent, negative 5 over 4. And when I flip that, negative 4 over 5. Okay? So you're going to have a couple there with the radicals. I think it's about half and half. Half of them work out to be Pythagorean triples, so it's all nice numbers. Half of them you're going to have to work with a radical. It wasn't terrible, was it? It wasn't terrible. You'll be okay. Alright, and the worksheet should be on the back side of this one. We got through that in about 10 minutes of video time, so it's probably 15 in the class, which means this back side should probably take you between 20 to 30 minutes. Alright? Alright, best of luck. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for watching. See you next time.